Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jim Higgins and I live in Davis. And I've got, as you can see, the panels back there. There's 11 of them. I had them installed in the summer of 2013. And I think I'm going to be adding some new ones now because the tree that you might be able to see from there, it lost a branch. So I've got more of the roof exposed and that is going south. So you're looking at the south exposure to where the panels are.
What was your original reason for going solar?
Oh, I've been interested in climate change for a long time. I read a very good book by James Hansen, who's probably the most prominent person on climatologist and climate change in the country. And it's called Storms of My Grandchildren. And it's very good. And he goes into what's going on with global warming. Wrote it in 2010. So it's some of the things he's saying there have already occurred that was saying would occur. It's still a good book. I would definitely recommend it.
So, what was your experience with the process and the contractor and all that? Did everything go well?
Yeah, I think they were here about 2 or 3 days to put the whole thing up, and it all went fine. There's no problems. And I was surprised at how fast it went up, really.
Is there anything that you know now about solar that you wish you had known before installing the system?
No, although if I had it to do over, I would have had more panels put up back then. But the company that had it done, which was REC, now it's Sunrun, they bought out REC about 5 years ago, I think. And they said that what they're putting up now, the 11 is good. And since then, we got the electric car, so you're definitely using a lot more than did when I first got the panels up. It's a Chevy Bolt, B-O-L-T, not V as in Victor, but B as in Baker. I got it in April 28th of 2017, and it's run great. I have no problems with it. It has a range of about, depending on how fast you go on it, of course, but at the range is about 250 miles. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we got the car on the 28th of April 2017, and it has a range of about, if you're not going too fast, because the computer continually changes the range. So if you're going on the freeway and you're going 60, 65 miles an hour, the range might go down to around 200 miles. Whereas if you're driving around town and you're not going that fast, I've had the range go as high as 257 miles on the charger. And on the charger I've got here, it's a 220 volt charger, and I've never had any problem. We've gone I don't think we've ever had less than 50-mile range on it after we've gone somewhere. We've gone to up to Placerville to Apple Hill, and the first time we went up there, it had a range of about 225, 230 miles at the time. And when we got up there, of course, you're going up all those hills. I said, we can't do much around here. We've got to just go to a few places and come back because we've lost more than half of our range. And it's only 60 miles from here to Placerville. So we did that. We did a few things. Then coming back down the hill, you're going downhill. So then that's getting more charge. And by the time we got home, we'd only gone about 30 additional miles. So for the 60 miles coming home, it only took 30 miles out of the range. So that was sort of a surprise, but that's one thing to expect. When you get in the electric car, the range is going to change depending on what the topography is, if it's hilly or not, and how fast you're going. You've got to keep in mind that it doesn't have an engine. It just has the motor. So the front of it is where the motor is and that. And so this is all seating area. You can sit, the front seats are bucket, so you can sit 5 people in there fine. For the whole 3 years plus that we've had it, I have nothing to complain about.
Sure. Yeah.
This is the charger, and it just goes right into the place for it on the front of the car. You can plug it in anytime, but you can set it up so that it doesn't start until you get to the cheaper rates at night. There's a program in the car that we can do that. What I did, this plug there, which is 220, that's for the dryer, and I've got a 220 for the car. And what I did, so I wouldn't have to have it rewired for the 220, I just use this one, which switches it. You can see this light up. that switches it. Now it's on for the car. It's on for the dryer. So you can't have both of them on at once. But it's a lot cheaper than getting another line put in. I had an electrician do this. It cost, if I remember right, about $200 and some for them to do it. The charger itself, I got it at, somebody recommended it. I think it was the person where I got the solar panels from. But somebody did. Then it's from Clipper Creek, which is up in Auburn, but I think it was about $200 roughly. And it works very well. I've had no problem with that either. And you can find that, I'm sure, by looking in the computer. Clipper Creek in Auburn. When you get your bill for your electricity, the way PG&E does it, and I think the way Valley does it too, is that you pay it just once a year for your electric. And they call that the true-up period. And I just had mine, and for the car and the regular electricity I use and that, the amount I paid for electricity last year was $600, which is about $50 a month. And I just went to Valley Electric beginning this month because they weren't taking anybody that was true up until whenever that happens this year. Anyway, you won't have to pay your electric bill except once a year. But they do charge you, at least PG&E charges you what they call for delivery charges. And they charge you $10 a month, but they take that off of the amount that you get at the end of the year. So $50 isn't bad.